If the husband does not respond with a good slap, you as the woman that is watching, you will think the husband is a weakling. So these women practically push their husbands to slap them or beat them. Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel, and today we'll be discussing 20 eye-opening lessons every wife needs to learn now. These are very important lessons that all wives and intending wives should know. So let's dive right into it. Number 1. Do not tolerate an abusive husband. Tolerating an abusive husband or an abusive partner is not an act of love, no, or patience or strength. It is a slow erosion of your dignity. A wife who tolerates an abusive husband may believe she is trying to preserve her home or trying to keep her children or her family together. But in reality, what she is actually doing is enabling a cycle that may deeply affect or damage her self-worth and the well-being of her children. But there is an exception. If you are the cause, listen attentively please. If you as the wife are the cause of the violence or the reason why your husband has raised his hands on you once, twice, or as many times, if you are the cause, for example, there are women who are very disrespectful to their husband. If you sit down and watch some women talking back at their husband, even you as a fellow woman, you will be so angry to the extent that if the husband does not respond with a good slap, you as the woman that is watching, you will think the husband is a weakling. So these women practically push their husbands to slap them or beat them. That is the only time they can keep quiet, or that is the only time they can behave like human beings. Like these women, they are disrespectful. That is not the kind of abusiveness or violence I'm talking about, because instead of walking out of the marriage, you as the woman need to work on yourself, because by the time you work on yourself, everything, the peace and the harmony in the home will be restored. You are the problem. The husband is not the problem. Now the kind of abuse I am talking about is the kind where the man has the problem. He has anger issues. He is prone to always picking up objects and inflicting injuries on the woman for sometimes no reasonable cause, no reason at all. They just can't help it. They feel they are on top of the woman because they married her. That is the kind of abuse I am talking about. Love should not be accompanied with suffering. No, love and marriage is a teamwork, is partnership. Do you understand? Now that is what I mean. Number 2. Do not discuss your marital issues with people who cannot help you. Sharing marital issues with wrong people can do more harm than good in most cases. Because not everyone who is listening to you can actually proffer solutions or wisdom. Some may even spread gossip or give you a harmful advice. True help comes from those with experience, wisdom, or professional insight, such as trusted mentors, counselor, or even your spiritual leaders. See, let me tell you, every home encounters challenges. When I got married newly, there was this woman that saw me. She said, listen, in every home, it rains in every home. The only difference is the manner at which you protect your home with an umbrella. So sometimes the things that causes issues in one marriage has happened in another marriage and did not bring as much issue or did not escalate as much. Every home encounters challenges and issues, every marriage. So be guided and be wise with the way you expose your own issues and your own challenges, because it will pass and it is not permanent. So over to number 3. Always look good for your husband. Looking good for your husband is not about unrealistic beauty standards. Now you see some women tasking their husband and being overly demanding, requesting for ridiculous amount of money for makeup, for skincare, for Brazilian hair, for human hair and things like that. That is not what I'm talking about, okay? Now, looking good for your husband is about your self-confidence, your self-care, and keeping the spark alive in your family, in your marriage, the romance. Remember that men are attracted to what they see. Do you understand? When a man is attracted to you and gets married to you, you shouldn't stop looking good just because you're married. As a matter of fact, you should now begin. Now, after marriage, looking good is not something you just do when you feel like it becomes your responsibility. It becomes your job to always make sure you're good looking for your husband, and you must try to not make it boring. You must try to be as interesting as possible, and I'm sure you do not want me or need me to remind you that you need to keep it within your budget. Okay? Also, don't look good for your husband alone. Look good for your self-confidence and for your daughters. Over to number 4. Learn good communication skills for conflict resolution. You need to understand that communication is the key to peaceful and lasting marriage. As a woman, you must learn to speak calmly, softly, and listen with empathy, and address issues with wisdom before they escalate. As a woman, when you think, I need to say my mind, I will tell you the way I feel, I will tell you what's in my mind, then you have it all wrong. You need to understand that in marriage, as a woman, you do not speak everything that is in your mind. Sometimes you have to be calm. Sometimes you know what you want to say, but you need to learn to keep quiet at times. Especially when your husband is offended or is angry or is speaking. You see, when the husband is hot, you understand what I mean. When he's hot, it is a very bad idea for the woman to also express her grievances at that moment, in hot temper or however you choose to put it. It is very important, and the only wise thing to do is for you as the woman to keep quiet, because if the husband is hot and you're hot, it doesn't end well. You need to learn this, because that's the only way that conflict can get resolved. And in everything that I have said about communication, one thing you should take note of is that when there is a misunderstanding, you should always try to listen with the intentions of understanding, not listening with the intentions of preparing what you want to say right back, or preparing a better point to attack. Not listening with the intentions of countering what he has said or trying to make him feel like you're the one who is right and he needs to listen. No, that's not how it works. Also, you need to understand that happy wives are not wives who win in every argument. They are wives who intentionally choose to let their husbands win when there are misunderstandings and arguments. This is a wiser way to tackle issues in your marriage. When women understand the place of communication and understand how to use this tool of communication in marriage, forget it. She has conquered everything, every battle, everything that is about to come. Because women have sharp tongues. If you understand how to speak softly and how to speak calmly, there are things that your husband does not naturally want to do. You will get him to do it. Why? When you stoop, you conquer. But many of my women do not understand this. We stoop to conquer. When you become feminine, and use your feminine power, you get your husband to do a lot of things for you. When you become humble and soft, we cannot have two kings in one kingdom, for crying out loud. We cannot have two captains on one ship. There's got to be a leader, and you need to allow your husband to be the leader in every situation. I used to have this neighbor that whenever there's an argument between she and her husband, her voice is always high. She tries to tell the husband, before you marry me, say now like this, I've been there, for the Nigerians, you understand what I'm saying. Now like this idea, I know if it change. No, la 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 la. She tells her husband, this is who I am. I don't take that. I will not take that. This, that. And the husband's voice becomes the calm one. And over time, we realize that the husband doesn't even come home again until it is very late. And sometimes when he even has, break. He would rather go to his parents' place to stay, to spend the holiday, than to come back and meet his wife because of that attitude. I just wish I could call her and tell her that, look, this is it, but I did not want any insults. But I knew that was the problem, communication. She did not understand. If only she could just speak softly, things would have been better. So for the sake of time, we'll be discussing just 5 lessons for this episode, and we'll talk about the rest in the next episode. So number 5, do not, I repeat, do not join your husband in any misunderstanding he is having with any of his family members, be it his father, mother, brother, sister, or cousin, whatever. Always be neutral. Do you know why? Over time, your husband and his family members may reconcile, but because you are not a blood relative, they might forgive. They will forgive their brother, but it will be very difficult for them to forgive you. So you do not want that. Trust me. A wise woman, when she enters a home, she does not just form a good relationship with her husband, but with the entire family member. It is always better that way. You do not, as a wife who wants to thrive, you do not want to be against your in-laws. No. So do not ever, even if your husband is right and they are wrong, don't take sides. Just be neutral, okay? And if your husband is not greeting them, for example, they are not in talking terms, greet them. Greet them, call them, talk to them, okay? So that when they reconcile, it will be easy for you to go back to the way you were. In fact, you will just continue from where you stopped. Thank you very much for staying with me on this episode. See you in the next one. Have a great day. Love you.